Yeah. Okay, a little update. I haven't had anything for months at all. But I got like a bit of a thing coming up that I think I actually want to film. It's a pretty basic bit of car work I got coming up. It's I'm gonna do some like underbody stuff, cleaning up the underside of the car. You know, needle scale things, like needle scale off the frame and all that. Because I was just gonna fog it with like black paint or zinc a while there. I was gonna just think of doing that, but then I actually took a closer look at the underside, and it's like, this ain't that bad. I mean, yeah, there's rust, but the flaking isn't many layers. It's just the one flake. It's like less than a tenth loss of like 4 millimeters. What the fuck? So I realized that the frame was in really good shape where I thought it was the rustiest. So I just decided, you know what? I'm gonna like at the I think it's gonna be like turn of next month. I'm thinking this month's gonna be a bit expensive, so I think end of next month. It's gonna be even harder because I'm gonna be down some cash. I guess May. Oh fuck me. I guess it's gonna be the beginning of May, I suppose. Fucking hell. Come on. I guess it's gonna be the beginning of May somewhere. I'm gonna get started on this project. And I'm gonna get started on this. And it's just gonna be like a day's work. It's not gonna be that much. I'm saying that now, and you're all expecting, oh, it's gonna be like an enormous amount of work. But I know for a fact it's not gonna be that bad. It's not going to be that bad. I'm gonna get a needle scaler and some zinc, and I am just gonna fog down. Well, I'm just gonna scale off all the garbage, scrape off some of the undercoating that is adjacent to the rust, scale the shit out of whatever's loose under there, which is probably not gonna be very much because undercoating is shockingly good at preventing rust from creeping, and then just fog it with zinc primer. Well, not zinc primer, just zinc, just zinc paint, basically. Heavy gauge zinc paint. You can paint over it, which is what I'm going to do, but I'm going to paint over it with undercoating. So that part of the car is never going to rust again. And at the same time, I think I'm going to apply underseal to the rocker panels all along the length, because I've already applied it on the corners just to keep a couple of patch panels I put in from rusting out. And I'm just gonna apply it along the whole fucking thing. That's all I'm gonna do. And I want to do that when it's a little warmer anyway, because, you know, it stays on there. It's a little warm. And I'm thinking around the same time. Actually, I'm gonna do this during my vacation, my 2 weeks vacation this year. I'm gonna have to save up a little cash for that. Damn, I already spent a lot. Anyway, I'm gonna do that during my 2 week vacation this year, and yeah, I'm rescheduling immediately. I'm gonna do that during my 2 week vacation this year, which is definitely gonna be in a month where I have no money. July. Lovely. Well, at least there's a few days off there. Anyway, I got July, 2 weeks there, week 29 to week 30. That I'm gonna use for that, I think, and just fix my car. I'm also gonna buy a bunch of paint, and I'm going to give the car a fresh coat of paint, because it is, quite frankly, in a sorry state. It is, like, the paint is peeling and popping everywhere. And I don't intend on doing a good job of this. I intend to get it to be like, 10 meters. 10 yards, something like that, for Americans, 10 yards, 10 meters. It's a 10 meter car, It's a 10 meter paint job. It's kind of what I'm going for. So what I'm gonna do with that is I'm gonna get some Hammerite, Hammerite knockoff. Same type of paint, silica paint. That it's got all that shimmer going on. And I'm gonna use the silver kind, and I'm gonna mix in a bunch of ultramarine blue pigment into that. I'm going to get a small can first, and use that ultramarine blue pigment and mix it in there and see if that turns out good. If not, I'm just gonna use the white Hammerite. It does have a little bit of the speckling to it, but not as much as you'd think. It does get a little bit of speckle to it, but not very much. It's a real shame. I might actually have to order some paint for this. Now that I think about it, because I want a hammered finish, whatever color it is. Anyway, so I'm gonna get some ultramarine blue pigment because I can get that very cheap, and I really like that color. I really like ultramarine. And I am for anybody that's wondering if it's gonna require re-registration. No, it's not. It's by all accounts still blue, which is what it says under registration. I don't know why the appropriate shade from GM isn't on there, but it isn't. The actual name of the color from GM is like midnight blue or something, but that's not on the registration papers. It just says blue. So as long as I paint it blue, whichever shade I pick, it's gonna be great. So yeah, it's gonna be fine, and the hammered finish is gonna look great. I'm very hopeful that the silver with the ultramarine pigment is gonna look good, like shimmer blue deep. I'm expecting the silver, like the silver shimmer, to be darkening the pigment, which is kind of what I'm after, because it is a darker blue already. And if that synergizes the way I think it's going to, it's gonna look great. Like, fucking fantastic is what it's gonna look like. And a lot of you are gonna be like, oh, hammered finish? Why would you want that on a car? I want that on my car because I can apply it with a roller and it still looks good. That's literally it. I can apply the hammered finish on my car with a roller and it will look good as long as I've taped off everything that just doesn't need paint. That's it. That's all there's to it. That's all there's to it. That's it. No, I'm not gonna spray it. I'm just gonna roll it. For the simple reason that I just do not care. It's a self-leveling paint, like Hammerite and all the hammer finish paints. They're self-leveling. They're all self-leveling. They all change texture the moment they start curing. So it doesn't matter what kind of texture you put on it with a roller. The under prep doesn't even matter. The texture becomes mostly unaffected as long as you don't have height differences greater than 0.2 millimeters. It's great, or at least the height differences, like, the surface finish change is like such a minute difference between like where there is a change and where there isn't that you have to squint to find it. That's like the whole key about the hammered finish. Like, it hides all the sins. And that's the whole point. I want to hide all of the sins. I'm still gonna keep the the side mirrors. I'm gonna keep them white. I'm gonna paint them, I think, with just a little small can of. I think I still have some white Hammerite in the basement actually. Might tape them off and just apply a little bit. Yeah, I might go out and do that today. It's a nice sunny day. Still got a couple hours before sundown. I'm gonna have 5 million creatures in that paint by tomorrow morning. It'll be great. It's warmed up. It'll be freezing tonight. It'll be perfect. Yeah, I think I might do that. So yeah, that's the plan, and I kind of want to bring you guys along with that. I'll try to film some of that project, which is like underscaling and just like undercoating, just scaling off the underside, undercoating, fixing the tow hook on the back because that one's almost rusted away. And then the that one is ironically not avoided rusting. Everything else is avoided rusting, but that thing hasn't. And then just paint the rest of the car. It's a lot of work. Do not get me wrong, but it'll do. It'll do. It'll do. I also got a couple pieces of trim I want to put back on it, not back on it, but put new trim on it because there's a couple pieces that are missing. I'm also thinking of running some some of the Lord's fasteners into certain places just to keep the front bumper on a bit better, because it's kind of jank. If you don't know what the Lord's fastener is, it's a self-tapper. But yeah, like that's kind of my plans for the car. I also gotta raise the front a little bit because I didn't raise it quite enough. I cut a coil off the springs when I wasn't supposed to. I did a idiot move. I cut a coil off the springs. I didn't have to. I could have just left the springs as they were, and just extended the actual like the threaded section like I was intending to, by the 40 millimeters I was going to, because the new springs are so goddamn hard that they just can't bottom out. And even if they do, I don't think it's never going to bottom out on that. It's going to be fine. I've done that in the back, so it feels great in the back. I just need to raise the front a little bit to get the lights and everything in the proper position. It went through inspection like this, though, which is weird. But yeah, that's the plans, and I hope to bring you guys along with that, and tell me what you think.